and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here again. Tonight, my message is for the 99 percenters. The 99 percenters. That includes most of you. But I want to give a special shout out, a special focus to those who are dealing with the minimum wage as an issue that is very paramount in their lives. Whether it's $8, $10, $15, $25. Money matters in the system in which we live. This message is for the 99%. Special emphasis on those who are dealing with minimum wage. First of all, I would like to say that I want to thank you so very much for even staying on this long. When I speak, I'm not speaking from some place of academia. I speak from my own personal experience and what I consider to be wisdom, and that wisdom is not of my own determination, but an influence by something greater than I or anyone else as far as I'm concerned. But it is not only available to me, it is available to everyone, and it will only come when it is okay with each and every one. And I want to say to those who are listening that the one percenters are running the show. It reminds me, I saw a movie where the old West, I'm an old schooler, and I remember the Westerns, and I saw the Stagecoach. Stagecoach, many of you might recognize that. And the Stagecoach is being raced with the horses going down the hill, right? And someone is chasing them, want to rob the stagecoach, and they're shooting at him. So they finally shoot the driver. The driver falls overboard. Now the horse is just running, going down hills that some turns they are barely making, but then they're making some. And inside of it, there are two people. They're fighting. They're fighting, not even knowing what's going on. They're just fighting, trying to have their way inside. And eventually, and you know what I thought about? I thought about that, and it relates just like this. I saw that stagecoach as the system, the U.S. system of doing things socially and economically. And as it represents the United States, so does it represent other parts of the world. But for right now, I saw it representing the United States. And inside that fight that was taking place, it represented the fight between the conservatives and the liberals, the Republicans and the Democrats, battling down inside. And whomever was running and driving the coach has been cast off aside, and the coach is just running wild. The coach is the system. And suddenly, it runs off the cliff. And inside, fighting in this coach, liberals and conservatives, Democrats and Republicans, to their end. And the thing of it is, ladies and gentlemen, that there was no one in this coach but the liberals and the conservatives, the Republicans and the Democrats. Whoever started the thing was been gone. And you go to your end, not knowing the game that's being played. All it took is what it takes, and that's for you to come together. The 99%, you are victory written all over you. But the game that has been played keeps you divided. Even though you say you're part together, the intention is to get more, to get the system, to give more. And more usually it says when it covers you. And as it does that, your voice is weakened. because now it's okay for the rest to go through what you had to go through, pay their dues like you got to pay your dues. Maybe one day they'll get it. And this represents the fact that no one has gotten it, that the enemy has taken total control and you still haven't loosened it. But I want you to know that this message is to those who are thinking about the minimum wage. I want to tell you something, and I want you to listen to me and believe me. There's a existent world that we live in, and exists not because of anybody that's walking around like you and I with putting on pants or dresses. Anybody that put on pants and dress like us is just like us. No more, no less. But nevertheless, this earth exists. And there are all kinds of us, all varieties of us, with the abilities to do all kinds of things. All of the things that we do, and all of the things that we can do that's been hidden because for one reason or another it is not to be known at this time. But I want you to know that this all exists because the power that made you, that you might live in these bodies, all of you, during the times past, these times, and the future times, to realize your dreams, to be an instrument whereby all of heaven is created by your hands. Excuse me again. Governing only one principle, and that is that you would do unto others as you'd have others to do unto you. Anything less than representing the goodness and kindness that you desire for yourself, feeling just as obligated as you are and committed to yourself, so are you, that this thing doesn't stop with you, but that you are not complete until we are all one in it. Until we can do that, we can claim all how wonderful we are, but we're truly no different than what's going on in that stagecoach. That's us. So I'm talking to you today, and I want you to know that you can change your way. You can accept the fact that in America, the President of the United States is not the greatest man on the face of the earth. You can accept the fact that the Constitution of the United States is not the greatest law on the land. You can accept the fact that the educational system and all of the things that have been given to us has been good but contaminated. And you can satisfy yourselves by knowing that by your love for one another gives you the power to not worry about what any other says about your agenda, because your agenda is the agenda of one. And that one includes all. And first of all and foremost, it guarantees that those things that are essential for your survival will be guaranteed above all else. And what are those things? Other than air, oxygen, and water and fire, we speak of things like food, like clothing and shelter, like education and health care, and careers of your own choosing. Now, satisfying these right here is the premise for peace and prosperity and joy. And this is only the beginning. Because in utilizing such principles that would allow you to come together and be able to amass the things that you desire, opens up the windows that will lead you beyond your own imagination. Only because it is you expressing the power of that which you cannot see, touch, or feel, but allow it to generate itself in you. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, is this. There's a God. And if you want to love everybody, that's what God wants you to do. God wants you to care about everybody, to protect everybody. Guarantee that the resources of the earth that are given by God for all are utilized for all. And that no trickster, no con artist, no Johnny-go-lately come in between us lying in about some are better and some are not. That's a lie. We know that now. Our grandparents and our forefathers, they knew it too, but the thing was, well, a little different. And now it is our turn to either stand or fall. And I say that we cannot afford to fail. We just can't do it. We cannot afford to fail because we represent truth. We represent all that they are not. They are claiming to be God, and they lie, they cheat, they talk out of both sides of their mouths, they grab, I can't say that. They do all kinds of things. They steal, they do Ponzi schemes, they kill, they profit from killing, they start wars, and they call themselves famous and working by the power of God, of which they are descendants of. And I don't doubt that. But it is the anti-God. It is not the God of peace. It is not the God of prosperity, for which I speak to you of. Now, my ladies and gentlemen, when I speak to you about a God of love. Now, this God of love does not go out killing like the other God. Wherever people killing at, we are not like that. We are not like that. As far as we're concerned, those are demons. Those are spirits that is defied. I mean, they just said there is no God but us. So, what we do is represent the God of love. Now, some people might ask the question, well, what do we do when we really get in a rough confrontation? First of all, I would say let the Spirit of God, let the Spirit of love lead you. Now, there are those who are so one with the Spirit that if the enemy of love wants to kill them, they are willing to die. They are more willing to die than those guys on the battlefield killing others for no reason at all except they've been given an order. They are just as willing to lay their lives on the line by just standing still, like walking before a firing squad, not being shoved into it, but walking to it boldly because they know the truth. And they know that the ones that will pull the triggers are as dumb as they can be. And perhaps they might grow up one day. But if they don't, you want to thank them so very much for getting you out of this hell. In the meantime, while you're here, you start representing everybody. Representing everybody. And you demand that these representatives who do not really represent you expose themselves by defying to do what you want them to do, and you get them out of office. Put somebody in office that will do what you want to do. And what is that? Peace and prosperity and joy. What is that? Love for every American, every American. And that means every American. Even those who are stealing and killing and robbing and lying and murdering, even those. Why? Because we are better than they are. What I mean by better means that we love them in spite of themselves. Yeah. Thank you so very much. Now back to those of you who worried about that minimum wage. This whole message was about you. God doesn't want you to think about a minimum wage. Those are slave wages. Those are wages that's given to people who don't matter. But you matter. God doesn't want you to settle for that. So everything that I have just mentioned to you, God has promised it to you and afforded it for you. The only reason you do not experience it today is because you don't deserve it. You see, the people who deserve this wonderful, beautiful, fantastic life that I speak to you of would not have it any other way. Those people being here in America would straighten America out like nothing before they would settle for all this crazy stuff that goes on in the world. They just wouldn't have it. They wouldn't have it. That love for peace and heavenliness would not allow it to exist. And if this power, this world power was so fantastic that it overcame the power of this wonderful, wonderful world, then this power would be released from this hell by these who don't know any better. And this group will be so thrilled. Out of here. Bye bye.